Not being a student of poetry, merely knowing what I like, I fully expected that if anyone engaged with this project, I would be introduced to stuff I'd never read. This next reading is a case in point, a poet whose political brother I knew rather better, and a poem I've never read. It's Return to Cardiff by Dannie Abse, and it was requested by a singer and friend I first met in the Czech Republic several years ago, Mike Smith. Mike is Welsh, but from the north of that great country, which I keep abusing with my cod cadences, rather than the capital. But Mike tells me he found the poem in a gift shop in St. Fagan's Castle. I suppose most poems make you think, some through meaning, and some by the sheer sound of them. The sounders insinuate like a cello played outdoors on a warm summer's evening and call you in. You experience them not so much through thought as by vibration, much as singers sound a space to test its sympathetic resonance, the note that comes back at you, makes your nose, skull and chest buzz. Under Milk Wood is a superb example. I found Abse's poem difficult to unlock. Listening to him in person recite it on YouTube didn't help. Peppered with semicolons, its lines don't flow as obviously as a more facile poem would. Yet the allusions are both profound and commonplace. They're quite accessible. Few of us will be unfamiliar with the experience of returning to a significant place after long absence. It is worth the work, and in the end is vivid. Return to Cardiff. Hometown. Well, most admit an affection for a city. Grey, tangled streets I cycled on to school, my first cigarette in the back lane, and, fool, my first botched love affair. First everything. Faded torments, self-indulgent pity. The journey to Cardiff seemed less a return than a raid on mislaid identities. Of course, the whole locus smaller, the mile-wide Taff, now a stream. The castle, not as in some black Gothic dream, but a decent sprawl, a joker's toy facade. Unfocused voices in the wind, associations, clues, odds and ends, fringes caught, as when, after the doctor quit, a door opened, and I glimpsed the white, enormous face of my grandfather, suddenly aghast with certain news. Unable to define anything, I can hardly speak. And still I love the place for what I wanted it to be, as much as for what it unashamedly is now for me, a city of strangers, alien and bleak. Unable to communicate, I'm easily betrayed, uneasily diverted by mere sense reflections, like those anchored waterscapes that wander, alter in the Taff, hour by hour, as light slants down a different shade. Illusory, too, that lost dark playground after rain, the noise of trams, gunshots in what they once called Tiger Bay. Only real this smell of ripe, damp earth, where the sun comes out, a mixture of pungencies half exquisite and half plain. No sooner than I'd arrived, the other Cardiff had gone, smoke in the memory. These but tinned resemblances, where the boy I was not and the man I am not met, hesitated, left double footsteps, then walked on.